Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward. And just the other day I did a live Facebook Q&A. And one of the questions that came through was asking about your diet and can your diet be too clean? Now I answered that question from the point of view of a fat loss diet. And I kind of mixed it up because afterwards the person who asked that question emailed me personally and clarified it, and they were looking at it from a bulking point of view, and meaning can your diet be too clean when your goal is to bulk up and gain muscular mass. And in a way it can be, and I'm going to share my personal experiences with this because when I was younger, when I was in my teenage years and early 20s, my main goal was filling out my frame, bulking up, and just packing on some muscular body weight. And at the time, I was following the typical bodybuilding diet recommendations that I would get in the muscle magazines. You know, so I mean, a lot of times I'd read the magazines and I'd see a sample bodybuilding diet plan. And more often than not, these sample diet plans were sample fat loss plans or sample pre-contest bodybuilding plans. They weren't necessarily a bulk up plan. So I'd read the foods and it'd be like, you know, skinless chicken, white fish, you know, vegetables, rice, you know, these clean, low-fat, low-calorie density foods. And this is what I was basing my own diet off, thinking, hey, this is what the bodybuilders in the magazines are eating, so this is the stuff that I have to eat as well. And I mean, obviously you're going to make progress as long as you're consistent with your workouts, consistent with your eating and everything else. But I found that I wasn't able to pack on the weight like I wanted to. I wasn't able to bulk out and fill out my frame. And I was having some conversations with buddies of mine at the gym who are in a similar situation. And again, remember, this is way back before the days of the internet. So I mean, you couldn't get your answers at a Google search away. You had to actually try and talk to people and figure things out the old-fashioned way. So I would talk to my buddies at the gym and other guys who were in a similar situation, and they all had this same problem. I mean, if you eat a clean, low-fat bodybuilding diet, then it's hard to pack on weight. And I know some of them were saying that they started eating McDonald's and pizza and burgers and fries and all this kind of stuff, and they were making gains, you know, since they've eaten these types of foods. Now, so I was looking at, well, what are some other ways that I can bump up my caloric intake and hopefully, you know, help fill up my frame and pack on some muscular body weight. So I made some changes to my diet and I was purposely increasing my fat intake. So some things that I did was add natural peanut butter. I mean, that's a very high source of fat and calories. Rather than just eating egg whites, I'd eat the whole egg. I'd eat more red meat, so instead of just chicken and fish, I would have red meat a few times a week. Other healthy fats like nuts, almonds and cashews and things like that, I'd buy, you know, bags of mixed nuts and I would eat those to help bump up my fat intake. Sometimes instead of just eating rice or potatoes or something like that, I'd go on and have full-on French fries, so I'd bump up my calories that way. And little things like this, you know, I purposely look for ways to bump up my caloric intake and not just sticking to the low-fat bodybuilding foods. And by doing so, I actually made better gains. I mean, obviously it was because I was consuming a higher amount of calories, and I found that having more calories in my system and thus you know, more fuel to grow from, I actually helped to fill up my frame and I made better gains. I found my strength went up and it was just easier to see progress in the gym. So if you're in that situation where you are, you know, that skinny hard gainer who's struggling to put on body weight and you're following a squeaky clean bodybuilding diet thinking that's the way to go, maybe you want to look into purposely increasing your intake of fat. And by doing so, again, it'll bump up your calories and it'll make it easier for you to be in a caloric surplus to grow. So that's my experience with it. I mean, it did help me at the time. And you know, if you're in that situation, then maybe it's something you want to look into as well. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback related to this, please feel free to post those down in the comment section below, and I will chat with you down there. And make sure to subscribe to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, and stay tuned for my next video coming soon. Take care. Over and out. And just one more thing before you go. I have a special gift for you. It's a free 51-page report called The 3 Keys to Building Muscle. This report is an easy read and it covers the fundamentals to getting in shape: training, nutrition, and mindset. The training section will show you how to combine strength training workouts and cardio conditioning together for building lean muscle while burning body fat at the same time. The nutrition section will show you how to figure out the exact number of calories that you need for your body type and the proper ratio of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. It even outlines a sample daily meal plan that you can follow along with. And finally, the section on mindset will help set you up for success by taking a practical and realistic approach to goal setting and following through with your fitness program. To download your copy, just click on the link in the video description below or visit my website at leehayward.com.